What does it mean to be a leader?
It's a question you don't really think about as you spend your whole life waiting for that moment. But our two foes today are a great example of that.
Ike, the leader of the Greel mercenaries.
And Ikari, the Prince of Ku.
I'm Aqua and he's Dormanos, and we welcome you into the realm of gods. Why is it that the best sword-swinging heroes have the cruelest of backstories?
Deep in Galea's forests, when Ike and his sister Miss were younger, they lost their mother Elena. Soon after, their once legendary knight forefather Grail would found the Grail mercenaries.
Ike had full intention of joining his dad's team of swords for hire, spending days and nights on end training with his father in order to do so.
And at the age of 17, he was deemed worthy to join their ranks.
However, that happiness was short-lived, as in the span of a few days their mercs had saved Princess Alincia from soldiers chasing after her, now putting Ike and the mercenaries, who usually have a disdain toward royals and politics, very politically involved.
To make matters worse, Ike's father, the man he looked up to the most, was killed right in front of his eyes by a mysterious Black Knight.
With a fiery determination to fight for his friends, following his father's final words, Ike would take up leadership of his fellow Grail mercs. He would have his vengeance for his father's death, and would make sure no harm would come to the princess, despite this obvious political involvement.
The continent is at war, and Ike was smack down in the centre of it all. The Mad King was raised as Dane's military, led by the tyrannical Asherids, wanting to invade and conquer the land. Though Ike's journey of navigating his warring continent, he'd fight countless battles, many powerful enemies, and fight against racism?
Is that a faunus?
No, that's Ranluff, a Lagis, which is a species of animal people who deal with violent racism for most of the world.
So, pretty much Ruby's faunus storyline.
And their leaders are also cats.
Faunus.
You watch far too much Ruby. Anyway, Ike is a master swordsman. Training with his father all those years really paid off.
Ike is also multi-talented, being able to wield weapons like hammers and axes with great efficiency.
He would also learn many abilities to complete his goal,
including Nihil, a skill that completely prevents foes from activating their skills in battle. Resolve, which boosts Ike's strength and speed by 50% when he falls to half HP, and Wrath, which boosts Ike's critical hit rate when his HP falls to 30% or less.
And of course, Ike's bread and butter, Aether. No, not the Genshin one.
Once activated, whatever amount of damage Ike deals to the opponent, he will regain the health back from the damage he dealt. Example, if Ike deals 50% damage to his opponent, he'll revive 50% of his own health back. It will also lower the enemy's defense by half.
He's also able to dodge bolting attacks. Assuming these bolts move as fast as that of lightning, this implies a massively hypersonic speed and can harm foes using Rex Bolt, implying 1.39 megatons of TNT.
With his abilities in tow, he formed and led the Crimean Liberation Army in an attempt to finally put an end to the infamous Mad King's War. Before what he believed to be his final battle against the man who slayed his father, he'd receive his most iconic weapon.
The Divine Blade Ragnall.
You just had to cut me off, didn't you?
Ike's blade has many incredible properties. In the distant past, it was blessed by the god Ashuna and was used to seal away another god, Yun. It's able to fire off divine energy attacks, allowing Ike to hit his enemies from afar. It also prevents foes from landing critical hits and boosts its overall might and accuracy.
With this weapon, he'd finally avenge his father by presumably killing the Black Knight, and soon after cut the Mad King Ashnard's life short. For this, he was gifted lordship status by Alincia by game's end, ending his story as the patriotic hero.
But Ike's story doesn't end there. Ever one to like nobles of a noble life, Ike renounced his lordship and returned to his band of mercenaries.
And as peace in Fire Emblem can only last around 3 years tops, another war breaks out between the Laguz Alliance and Bengi and Young, another country in Tullius.
Their warning awoke the goddess Ashura, the god of order, who throws everyone except the strongest in the land to stone. This also caused the goddess Yun to awaken and...
Whoa. Before we go any further, we gotta lay some groundwork about the gods of Ike's world. We have to go into the realm of gods. That was clever, come on.
Right, sure. Anyway, there was once one creator god. Her name was Ashuna. She raised continents from the sea and created the people of the world. Ashuna was a generally very nice god, Unfortunately, the people she created wasn't so nice to each other.
Due to the constant fighting, Ashinera decided to flood the world in an event called the Great Flood.
Causing so much death and destruction, tore poor Ashura apart, literally, as she was split into two halves.
Ashera, the god of order, representing Ashinera's logic, and Yoon, the god of chaos, representing her emotions. Alright, got all that? Good.
Thanks to Yoon possessing Makara, one of Ike's new allies, one of those two gods were on his group's side.
With his allies behind him, the group would climb the Tower of Guidance to take down Ashera, in order for Ike to save his stone-turned friends.
Before taking on Ashura, he'd come to face with the man who's killed his father, a man presumed to be dead, the Black Knights. Here, he finally beat his longtime foe in one final fight. He'd finally learned the knight was Zergus, one of his father's former soldiers.
He made peace with the man before he passed, took his blade, Alondite, Ragnall's sister sword, and moved on to face Ashera in one epic final battle. After finally putting an end to another war, Ike would be blessed by Yoon's divine power.
So he's been blessed by Yoon, and his blade's been blessed by Ashura?
Ascending to his most famous title, the Radiant Hero, Ike would then disappear from Tellius, leaving no trace, becoming an infamous legend throughout the land, by all peoples.
That's a nice ending. Wait, shit, we forgot to talk about the fact that he's gay.
Thanks for my friends.
The land of Ku is a nation of sand, heat, and trying to expand their land.
Their leader, King Jigo, had spent his whole life trying to protect their borders and grew tired of it. Probably because he's so old.
Jigo wished to find an heir and knew there was only one person right for the job. A man who loved the people of his kingdom, a man that would do anything to help out the people no matter what. None other than his son Hikari, the current prince of Ku. However, Jigo's other son, General Mugen, was unhappy with the current state of the nation. It was frail and he thought he was the one worthy and he would make it happen no matter what.
Hikari was held off by his former friend Ritsu as Mugen burned the kingdom alive and killed Jigo in battle. Not only that, but he told the surviving people that Hikari was the one to murder the king.
Man, I hate when that happens.
What's happened to you? When?
I'll kill my twin, throw Monos over sea.
Get him on the show.
Hikari ran off to get his former allies and put a stop to Mugen's rule.
Now Hikari is a warrior, meaning he wields both a sword and a spear, and he has some cool skills with being a warrior.
Hikari can boost both his attack and defense with Abide and Shout Wall. He can counter his foes with Vengeful Blade. He can remove all positive status effects with an Evernamed Slash, and he can do a massive amount of damage with his Brand Blade technique.
If that's not enough for Hikari, you can also swap his jobs to get access to even more powers. You could use the Storm.
If only that was easy.
By changing to a job, Hikari gets more weapon access, so now he can use weapons like daggers, bows, staffs, and axes.
That's a lot of weapons. Can we move on to his feet now?
Nope! For you see, each job change gives him a whole set of new skills. Like how the Thief job allows Hikari to boost his own speed and can lower his foe's attack and defense.
The Scholar job allows Hikari to use fire, ice, and electricity spells. The Cleric job allows him to heal his wounds and create a sacred shield that can halve the damage of a single attack.
The job Hikari merges the best with is the Arm Master job, which has a custom-made divine weapons for each one, forged by a legendary blacksmith.
Each weapon gets a skill to go with them, like being able to attack with every single weapon with 6-fold strike, the Lionheart Axe which gets 2 incredibly powerful axe strikes, or the Hunter's Bow which shoots a flurry of arrows at enemies.
Hikari can also challenge warriors to battle, and if he wins, he can learn their skills.
Man, I wish I could beat the shit out of people and then learn their skills.
Then you would finally have a reason to beat up all those people.
It was only 5 orphans. What are they gonna do, tell their mama?
I mean, I guess not? Hikari is strong enough to fight Glacius, who has the power to clear away a continental blizzard. That would have taken the power of 20.40 gigatons of TNT.
And if that's not enough, Hikari fought against Skaldea the Fallen, who has the power to consume all of life itself, and is stated to have destroyed that world.
How hungry?
Leave the horse alone!
Hikari is fast enough to avoid arrows being shot. One of the fastest bows in the world is the XN Penteon MX-15, which can be shot at 362 feet per second.
However, Hikari kept a dark secret that he told no one about. Hikari has a cursed blood. It possesses them in battle, allowing victory in almost any fight, but you become a bloodthirsty warrior, unable to control your actions.
That's how Hikari killed his former mentor, Jin Mei, when his star... Is that Hikari.exe?
Reddit is down the hall and to the left. Aqua, we hate EXEs here.
Hikari pushed through his darkness and regained his once former allies. And even got some new allies, like Peak Wholesome Agnion, Peak Punished Oswald.
And so, Hikari charged back into Ku to save his country, before running into Mugen for their final battle.
Blades were traded, and before the fight could begin, EXE would rise once again, attempting to take control and kill Mugen once and for all.
Hikari fought his dark self, and he thought about all the people who helped him become who he is today, and stopped his darkness from taking over.
Hikari was the first warrior in a generation to stop his darkness. Mugen was furious at the end of this, and allowed himself to be consumed by the darkness to put an end to Hikari once and for all.
An intense battle would take place, with each warrior trading blows, but in the end, the prince would come out on top. Hikari would put a stop to the war, but Ku would need a lot of work to return to its glory days.
Hikari would become the next king of Ku, and would lead his kingdom to a greater tomorrow. With his friends by his side, there's nothing he can't do.
Even so, we mustn't forget those who came before. The blood that was shed, the friends who were lost. They have guided us here, and together we shall all build a better home.
Who will win? The leader of the Grail Mercenaries or the Prince of Ku? Let's find out in the Realm of Gods.
So this is where you said that those that attacked you and the others were?
Yeah, right around here.
I presume you're the one in charge of these ruffians.
So, you're the pompous noble in charge of these men in our way.
I am Hikari, Prince of Ku, and unfortunately, I did not let you pass. However, I'm sure...
Unfortunately, I wasn't asking.
Strike me first. Not very chivalrous of you.
Hypocrite.
What do you... Cleric! What was that? I had no intention of harming you.
Save it! I fight for my friends!
This fight has got bloodful. Kill him while you have the chance. My blade hungers. You shall be my feast.
You won't like this!
I'm sorry about your friend. What is your name?
Ike,
It is a good name, Ike. Look after the people of Ku for me.
you're not bad for a royal.
And the winner is Ike.
This fight actually had a lot going into it. It may surprise you to learn that Hikari was actually stronger than Ike, both without any boost to attacks or around multi-continent. But while Ike's boosts don't bump him, Hikari can push himself up to planet level.
A gap but one Ike can come back from. Both warriors are extremely skilled. Hikari has far more varied training with multiple weapons. However, when it comes down to just sword on sword, Ike definitely has the advantage and more experience there.
While both warriors have taken hits from people stronger than them, Hikari really hasn't taken the kind of punishment Ike has. And Hikari's durability doesn't scale equally to his greatest possible attack, meaning Ike should have no problem damaging him.
Hikari's arsenal is much larger and much more versatile than all of Ike's arsenal, with him having multiple weapons, magic, and more healing skills.
However, if Ike can land Nihil on Hikari, then he would not only seal all of his abilities, but also all of his jobs. This would reduce him just to his sword and spear, where Ike has the advantage and can use his healing skills of his own like Aether, so it's going to come down to speed.
And while Hikari's bow feat is impressive, it cannot compare to Ike being able to dodge bolting. Judging by the distance and the speed of the lightning, Ike must have moved at 40.2 microseconds.
This is far faster than anything Hikari has been able to avoid. And that's before Ike's resolve boost increases the speed even further. Thus, even if Nihil doesn't activate, there was always a high chance of Ike completely dodging Hikari's whole kit.
Hikari's strength and arsenal made him a worthy opponent, but Ike's superior speed and hacks gives him the edge.
The winner is the Radiant hero Ike.
What am I fighting for?
Thank you for watching this episode of Realm of Gods. I had a lot of fun putting this episode together. It's also the first time I've worked on one that didn't fully solo on my own. You might know Seven from all the awesome Next Time trailers he's been getting. He did almost as much work as me, so everyone say good job to him in the comments. Next Time is really goddamn hype and I'm going to be putting my all into it, so make sure you come back when it's out. It shouldn't be too long now. And make sure you all like and sub so we get a bigger number. Follow us on our socials, they should have been on the screen somewhere. And sub to Aqua's Patreon. I want to do another 3D episode and this is the only way we can make it happen. Also, one more thing, don't worry what happened to Aqua. I took care of them. Adios amigos!